This is the art of the real. I am DT John, and we have a very special guest, Detective Spoon, with us tonight.
Thanks, big buddy. The states stink right now. They stink so much that we cannot pretend not smelling it. Can you, my friend?
We are not in a good situation. We are in a very, very bad situation. Listen, nuclear weapons, they destroy in an instant, okay? An instant, boom, gone. But dishonesty? Dishonesty creeps into every single thing, every system, every relationship like a parasite. It doesn't just destroy today, it plants the seeds of destruction for future generations. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. It's like when leaders lie, they ain't just lying to the people now. They're laying out a blueprint for others to do the same. And then it's like culture. Like a culture of mistrust just spreads. Real talk, it sows the ground for dictatorships, man. Yeah, nukes are deadly, but dishonesty? That's poison that lingers.
Poison? It's worse. It infects integrity, demolishes accountability. And you know who's responsible? Leaders. Leaders who can't even teach by example. They become pathetic, shameless liars. And then what do we have left, huh? Chaos, no trust, no nothing. Am I supposed to respect that?
Never. If your word ain't worth anything, neither are your actions. And once people start buying into the lies, it's a wrap. They turn around and spread it themselves. It's wildfire, man, burning through truth until no one can even remember what's real anymore.
This is why we need to fight back, not just sit there, twiddling our thumbs, hoping the truth magically comes back. No, truth doesn't just stand up for itself. You gotta dig, you gotta pull it out, kicking and screaming if you have to. And leaders, the so-called leaders out here, these people should be human compasses.
Human compasses, I like that. Pointing everyone in the right direction. Not spinning all over from lies here, false promises there. If leaders step up and keep it real, then maybe society can function. But do they even know how to be examples anymore?
Most don't. And then they try to worm their way out saying everyone lies, like that excuse is dragging a whole nation through the mud. No excuses. People can't trust you, they can't follow you.
And without trust, it's over. Game over. So, what happens next when you got leaders fumbling the moral compass? Who steps up to fix this mess?
You better believe it starts with accountability. And us. Right now. And speaking of leaders failing the moral compass, did you see what went down with Trump and Zelensky? That wasn't just some diplomatic meeting. That was a power play, a battlefield. Trump's there barking orders, pushing Ukraine into deals with an invader. This is what I mean. Leaders making compromises where there should be integrity. Are we kidding here?
Nah. But Zelensky wasn't backing down, though. Gotta respect that. Dude stood up and said, no compromises. Straight fire. But it makes you wonder, man. Is there room for diplomacy when the stakes are life and death? Is grit enough, or do you need finesse?
Finesse! Finesse is what gets us circles. You know what wins wars? Backbone. Leaders who take a stand, plant that flag, and don't budge an inch. Zelensky's got that. I'll give him that. But where's the U.S. leadership? Trump's yelling one day, posting on his site the next, about not wanting advantage, talking out both sides of his mouth.
Right, but it's deeper than just yelling, though. You got J.D. Vance sitting there saying diplomacy's the way. Meanwhile, Europe's looking at us sideways, wondering if we're even on the same page. It's a mess, and you know who pays for it? The people on the ground. The soldiers. The families.
And what? We should just hand it all to Russia on a silver platter, huh? Because that's what it sounds like. Diplomacy? You can't have diplomacy with someone holding a knife to your throat. That's called surrender.
True. But at the same time, gratitude plays a role here. Zelensky getting called ungrateful? Man, I feel for the guy. Balancing respect and expectations, that's no easy thing. Reminds me of when I was negotiating a peace deal between two gangs, right? They thought I was siding with one because I asked for compromise. But it wasn't about picking sides. It was about finding enough middle ground for both to survive.
Middle ground? Survival? That's good for small-time disputes, Spoon. But we're talking about national survival here. National integrity. You can't compromise that, not for anything.
Maybe not. But sometimes the way you ask for something changes the whole game, man. Respect goes both ways, even in conflict, just saying.
Middle ground's nice for stories, Spoon, but without integrity, it's nothing. It's not some fancy word you flash around at a cocktail party. It's the backbone of leadership. Without it, you're building on quicksand, and it's game over. You feel me?
Yeah, right. And it ain't just leaders. It's across the board, from schools to families to communities. Integrity starts early. You got to teach these kids to step up, not sell out. But man, it gets tricky. Whose version of right are we teaching here?
The right. The universal right. Look, there's no excuse for softening it up. If you're going to say you believe in something, then stick to it. That's how we rebuild trust, Spoon. Leaders who teach, who walk the walk, not just talk the talk like some used car salesman.
Yeah, but hold up. Integrity's got to grapple with the messiness of values, right? Educators, parents, they got to navigate that chaos, man. I read this thing, talked about letting kids wrestle with tough choices, how to handle competing truths without losing sight of their own values.
Competing truths? Give me a break, Spoon. Ain't no competition when it comes to what's right and what's flat out wrong. We've raised a generation that can't even tell when they're being lied to, thanks to bad examples from the top. It's all distractions. TikToks, filters, fake news. No wonder common sense is collapsing.
Agreed on the clutter, but this ain't about fixing filters. It's about giving kids the tools to see through them all together, you dig? Stuff like empathy, self-awareness, showing how actions line up with values. Because if we ain't teaching them to think, we're handing the world to scammers and manipulators.
Right! And you know what happens when manipulative leaders take over? Collapse. Chaos. But Spoon, back when I was running a campaign, there was this moment. A donor wanted me to smear my opponent with false claims, said it was just politics. I walked out of the room, you hear me? Walked out. Because my word is my word.
Big power move right there. But that's what I'm saying, man. We need more examples like that, starting in the classroom, starting at home. Kids don't become honest adults on accident. They watch us. They copy us. If the adults are crooked, how the heck will the kids even stand a chance?
Exactly. Leaders at every level gotta hold the line. That means zero tolerance for hypocrisy. None. Integrity is about being the same person in public that you are behind closed doors. We don't need more talk, Spoon. We need action, proof, results.
True that. And if we can't back it up, then what's the point? Integrity needs to be visible, man. Otherwise, it's just a hollow word, echoing into emptiness.
And speaking of integrity, Spoon, did you catch that address to Congress? The lies, the half-truths. It's outrageous. Trump stands there feeding the people a buffet of distortions, and folks just eat it up. They don't even realize they're swallowing poison.
For real, man. Like the claim about spending billions on transgender mice, that was twisted so hard it snapped. The studies? About health impacts on humans. But he spins it, and suddenly folks are fired up over something that ain't even real. You can't unhear that damage once it's done.
Exactly. That's the danger of misinformation. It doesn't just mislead, it rewires the way people think. Every falsehood, every skewed fact, it's like laying a brick in a wall that separates people from the truth. And when leaders do it, it's betrayal. Pure betrayal of the people they swore to lead.
Man, it reminds me of this one case I worked on. Someone leaked some fake intel during a gang investigation, said one side was planning a hit on the other. It wasn't true, but the streets lit up anyway. Eyewitnesses clammed up, trust was shattered, and 2 lives got lost that night. All because someone played fast and loose with the facts.
That's what I'm saying. Lies kill. Maybe not with bullets, but they destroy lives, reputations, futures. And when it comes from the top, from leaders as influential as presidents, it's no longer just a mistake. It's calculated chaos. It's corrosive.
And it ain't just politicians, man. Social media, news headlines, people not even reading articles, just firing off reactions based on clickbait. It's like a system that encourages lies to go viral while the truth limps along behind.
Right. And the whole time, trust in the system sinks lower and lower. You combine that with leaders who dodge accountability, and what do you get? A fragile democracy on the verge of collapse. Spoon, you know what democracy needs?
What's that?
Trust. A foundation of truth. Without it, the people can't make informed decisions. They're like a pilot flying blind with no instruments. Disaster waiting to happen.
Right. But rebuilding that trust ain't gonna be quick. It's gotta start small, you know? Folks calling out lies when they hear them, digging for the facts, teaching kids to think critically, not just take things at face value. It's a long game, John.
A long game worth playing. And if leaders can't uphold integrity, it's up to us, the people, to hold their feet to the fire. No free passes, no exceptions.
True that, man. And maybe, just maybe, by staying vigilant and demanding better, we can turn this around. Misinformation only wins if we let it.
Exactly. So let's make it clear. Truth is the backbone of democracy. Without it, we're just heading for chaos. And on that note, Spoon, it's been real.
Always, John. Stay true.
If you like this podcast, please smash the like button and subscribe to our channel, Synergy Podcast. Thank you. Thank you very much. Believe me, we will make American real again before we can make American great again.